Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think I goofed something up here. There we go. Okay, we're live, right? Yes, we are. And I feel like I've lost something here, which makes me a little bit nervous. Let me look for something here. There we go. Yay. I hope you guys had a nice weekend. I can't even tell you what we did, but today's August 3rd, Monday. Can you even believe it's August? So, I've been hanging out in the forum and I've been seeing some really cool stuff. I'll bring that to you in a little bit. And then we're going to piece my favoriteest star on the face, or my favoriteest, I think it's my favoriteest block on the face of the earth. I think it could be challenged by the postage stamp basket, but love this little star. It actually brings a lot of lessons. I would, if I were you, grab a paper or a pen or a pencil and your little quick and easy block tool in case I say something that's so monumental it might change your life or something. And you can mark it in it. Again, we'll be working with block number 82 on page 94, and we're doing 6-inch. But before we get started, I think I got to do the popping down. John always comes and wanders in here, and I think, uh-oh, what's going on? There we go. So anyways, I pre-washed. I'm working on our next project, meaning I've got the fabric, and I think I know what we're going to do. So I decided to pre-wash. I threw in some of my own fabrics, and I wanted to throw in just some solids of my own, and I thought that perhaps this one was a hand dye. Okay, so in pre-washing it, I threw in a color catcher. Yep, that was a hand dye. So remember, you guys, if you're working with hand dyes, always pre-wash. And a smart woman would probably wash it again. Let's see if I qualify as a smart woman. So something really cool came across my computer yesterday. And we have a thing called like Next Door Neighbor or something like that. I'm sure you do too in your area, and you can sign up for it. And then, like, you know, if you're trying to sell something or give something away or do this or that, or what was that big bang? Does anybody know what that was? You go there and people tell you. So I stumbled on this kid named Sam, who is a sophomore at Granada High School. And he has come up with a cause called Masks for Livermore. And what Sam was doing is if anybody in Livermore wants a mask, he will make it for you. A boy, guys, a sophomore in high school. This makes me so happy. And then he started a GoFundMe, and originally his goal was 1,000. And now he's switched it to 2,000, and it's to buy supplies and all that kind of stuff. But I'm telling you, this kid's going to go somewhere in life. I mean, just what an amazing thing to do. And I knew it was real when one of the second or third posts on this thing was, oh, he's such a great kid, and, you know, congratulations, Mom, for raising a kid like this, etc. So Sam, we don't know each other, but I'm rooting for you. And I did send you guys a note that if you need anything, chances are I have it. I even put it like this: I probably have more fabric than all the quilt stores in the San Francisco Bay Area combined. So if you need it, I've got it. Now, the other thing that was really cool, I don't know where Mary Kay finds this stuff, but it was out in today's newsletter, and it's a 15-minute documentary called Quilt Fever, and it's about Paducah during Quilt Week. And she said, watch out, you might know some of the people in it. I started to watch it, and then I'm going to watch it when I'm done with this because I really want to pay attention. But apparently there will be people in there that we know. And now how to find this is you just go to thequiltshow.com, go to the daily blog, and scroll down a bit. I think it's about 4 or 5 articles down. And so I'm very, very excited to watch it. I'm pretty sure, best way, God bless you. We're getting to know you know what? We're getting to know each other a little too well here. And I have to say that I feel very, very, very connected to you guys. Very. And I know some of you I know, and some of you I will never know, and some I will meet future forward. But I thank you for this. And so what the heck was I talking about? Oh yeah, this documentary. I can't wait to watch it. I don't know where Mary Kay finds this stuff for the newsletter or Lilo, but boy, they do. And I know Eleanor Burns is in it, but I don't know who else. It said in the daily blog that it will make you laugh and maybe even make you cry. So yay, if you need a good boohoo, if you need a good haha, go watch it. Again, it's at thequiltshow.com, and it was in today's newsletter, which means that it is in the daily blog. Again, it's about 4 or 5 articles down. So somebody just asked, what's the best way to pre-wash hand-dyed fabrics? Well, I have an old school washing machine with an agitator. I had a high energy one and it broke, and I said, give me old school. And really the best way to wash it is to be as brutal to it as you can possibly be. And what you do if you're using Synthropol, which wicks out color, is you do it on hot water, if you can believe it, in a washing machine with an agitator. And then you put Synthropol in, and we do sell some in the store. And what I would suggest is next time you order from the store, we just have little bottles like that. Just get a bottle, it's a couple bucks, and just have it in your laundry room or in your garage, wherever your washing machine is. And then you just wash it. And I also do put in color catcher shout, which is what this is too. So I kind of do it all. And actually, I should wash it again just to see what the heck, right? And I know a lot of people, a lot of multimedia people save these things to do other things with it. I don't know. So, all right, let's do show and tell. So Mary Jane sent me the sequoia. She did this out of her, just her repros. And I see 3 little birds there. There might be another one hidden. Somebody wrote me and said, well, I want a bird that was like in the original pattern. Well, I don't have that bird, and that would be a copyright infringement. So if you don't like the little bird that I gave you with sequoia, no worries. Go Google bird line drawings and see what image you get, and then go ahead and use that. So now I'm in the forum watching you guys with your mystery quilts. You have blown my brains, all right? And I know a lot of you are getting anxious, and you're working with like your computer programs. But I thought this was really interesting, and this is by Helen, and she's just playing on her computer to see what she comes up with. I love the rainbow effect of the, green to blue to orange to pink to green, etc. I think that's just absolutely beautiful. I've never learned how to use that program. Is it EQ? I don't know. Okay, so then this is, I don't know your name, but secret agent. And she's finding that she likes the black in there better than the white. So you got to use, what works for you. Now, I'm going to tell you another little secret is that I'm going to be throwing Kaffe polka dots in mine too. And I'm pretty soon going to start putting up fillers on the wall, though I still have more blocks for us. Okay, this is Blue Rose. They're beautiful. They're just beautiful. I mean, does this just not make happiness in your heart? Okay, and then we have Woodsies. My heart can't take it, you guys. These are just unbelievable. And it's interesting because I was so bummed out when we ran out of the Cactus Rose Kaffe, but then when we found this Brassica, it's absolutely fabulous. Fabulous. Look at the middle row far right with the yellow. I would have never in a million years thought of that. Putting the white there. Good job. And then let's see what Lori has. Okay, Lori, you're the overachiever. That's all I'm going to say. Lori, you want to teach the next class? You've got some chops there going on. So she probably started with the beloved 6-inch square and then put this other around it. Absolutely beautiful. So here's what's going to happen. John figured out how to do the 3 cameras. So I actually taped today's session, and which means the way we have it figured out now is you are going to be able to see me, and I'm going to be making notes so I can look at your questions and stuff like that. So that's super cool. So let's get started. Okay, everybody, before we get piecing and stuff, I want to briefly again talk about the colors that's going on here with my beloved Sawtooth Star. I just love this block. Again, it's number 82 and it's on page 94. So going back to Katie's little color wheel tool, I can't tell you how pleasantly surprised I am with this. I decided I was going to do a tertiary triangle again. So you can see here, I went with the yellow and the red. Now, again, I mentioned this, I believe Friday, you don't have to use all three. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this, or all three. But one thing when you are making a star, I'm going to tell you this right now, you want the star tips to be the darkest value against the background. Had I chosen to put red in here and yellow out here, all you would see is a big fat square of red. Trust me on that. So this is what we're working on today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you, oh wait, I want to show you this too before we go on. So I thought, okay, so which Kaffe fabric does this work with? There it is. It's so clear how they work the color wheel. This has become fascinating to me. Absolutely fascinating. So if we look at our little book, here we go. And we're going to make ourselves a 6-inch star. I'm going to go down here for all my cutting numbers. Well, anyways, 6-inch here. And then it's going to tell you what to do. All right. So let me just talk some of this through. I'm going to go off grid here. Okay. I'm going to show you how I do the flying geese, and it's not the traditional way. In the olden days, when I used to teach star class, I made people suffer through the old fashioned way to learn piecing skills. And I'll show you what that means, but now I'll show you how I shortcut it. So let's see, that's the outside corner squares. We cut those at 2 inches. B, which is the little star points, the red, 2 3/8 square, and then cut corner to corner. And then C, which is this background here, is actually a quarter square triangle. And you cut that at 4 1/4 and then cut it corner to corner. And then D is the center, and that's at 3 1/2. So this is a 3 1/2 inch square right here. So that's what you need to cut. So let's talk about flying geese. Let me get this over here. So this is the quarter square triangle that I cut. That is the background of the flying geese. This is to get this, okay? Now what happens, and I'm going to go over this again, a lot of this stuff I'm repeating, you guys, and forgive me for that, but I just don't know if somebody's brand new to the jam, and this is really important stuff. When I cut this corner to corner, again, this was 4 1/4 inches, you end up with this on the straight of grain, and you end up with all of this on the bias. So in the end, the outside edge will be on the straight of grain, okay? Now, this now gets into, okay, then for the little pointy points, we cut, I think 4 squares at 2 3/8, and then you cut corner to corner, okay? And now this is all bias. So when you are going to do it the old-fashioned way, you again have weirdo shapes that don't line up, okay? See right here? Weirdo shapes that don't line up. You've got the extra right up here. What you're going to line up in this case is the outside corner out here. You want to get that 90-degree going. So I'm simply going to line this up here, and there's your weirdo shape up there. I've really gotten into dropping in just a little bit of glue to keep things from shifting. I thought of this on the fly while I was doing this, teaching you guys, and it's just fantastic. So let's go over to the sewing machine. It looks as if John has it figured out. Yay. I don't know how he expects me to see, but you can see right here is where I'm going to lead in. This is your 1/4 inch, all right? So I'm gonna go in here, and the reason it's not sucking down into the hole, and I've said this several times, is that I've got a single hole throw plate. If I had the regular throw plate, this tip would be a mess. So as I sew, I'm watching here, not here. It's too late when it's up over here. Some of you like the, I can't do two things at once here. Some of you like the presser foot with the guard on it. I think on a Bernina it's a 57. That's just fine. I use it only when I'm doing things like log cabin and stuff like that. Only because it will, I gotta finish this off with something. When I start pinning, my pins get in that way. So there's that. I should have put some hand lotion on. There we go. Okay, so there's the little piece right there. Let's go back over to the ironing area. So now when I go to iron it, where'd you go? Okay, this is an exposed bias right here, right here. So I'm going to take my iron and I'm gonna press this way with my fingers, and my iron is never ever going to touch that. I'm gonna go up, go off. I even hesitate setting the seams because this can whack out on you, this bias, very easily. So now we put this on here and we stitch, 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 a little bit of glue, and then you've got one flying geese. And I did this way for years and years and years and years. And then perhaps those of you who know me back from the Simply Quilts days remember Billy Lauder. Sadly, she has passed, and she showed me what I'm going to show you next, and it changed my life when it came to the world of flying geese. Okay, I'm going to make sure I don't trail off. It's real easy to trail off at the end, trust me. This stuff I know. And also, if you start, I mean, I love my thread cutter, okay? I adore it. But if you stop and end with a piece of fabric, you'll have less things being eaten up. And I feel like something weird is going on here. So let me get this out of the way and take a couple more stitches back the other way. What's all that thread doing down there? There, that's better. All right. So now I'm going to go back to ironing, and you can now press it in any way you want, as hard as you want, etc., because the outside edges are no longer, there's no bias, none. This is good. Okay, but what Billy taught, I'm trying to think, Pauline Adams, I think in England, came up with this idea, was this. Now I want you to grab your book and grab your pencil because you're not going to do what it tells you to do. So going back to, let's see, what was this number again? Sawtooth Star. What we're going to be creating here is this right here, okay? And if you look at your book for B, it says cut 4 squares at 2 3/8 and then cut corner to corner. Do not cut corner to corner. Cut 4 squares at 2 3/8 and let it be, okay? And then for C, the background, you're going to cut 1 square at 4 1/4, and it says to cut twice. Don't do it. Don't cut it. Don't cut it. All right? So what you're going to end up here is this background, which is this, okay? And then on the squares that are the tips that we did not cut corner to corner, I marked corner to corner, all right, with my friction pin. I marked it. And then what I'm going to do, if you've seen this, you know how wonderful it is. And there's tons of ways to do these little flying geese. Like Laura Nouns does a flip and sew thing. This is just my favorite. And what I'm going to say, people, if you don't If you're a little lost, just go back and watch it again. So this line now is coming down here, okay? I'm gonna put a little bit of glue there too. And then I'm gonna take another one and it's gonna come straight up to here. And I'm gonna drop another little piece of glue. All right, so you can see that the line is running straight across. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come to my sewing machine and I am going to sew 1/4 of an inch on one side and then 1/4 of an inch on the other. And it's 1/4 of an inch from that line, all right? So here we go. And you will have this weird overlap, so it does not fit perfectly. I adore this technique. I don't just like it, I adore it. Then I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna pull it a little bit just to get some thread. And then I'm gonna sew down the other side. Now I hate that when it gathers in, but I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. I'm afraid to see what happened with that little snap there. Okay. I wish you could see me, you guys. I'm working around a camera. My head is cocked at about 45 degrees. And John said, it goes, you can see. Well, yeah, kinda. Uh-oh, I don't like that that gathered like that. See how that gathered? Yucky. I'm gonna clip it. Okay, clip it. Yeah, we're good, okay? I am gonna press this and I'm gonna show you something that I think is fascinating. So this is that friction pin, and we teachers tell you to be very, very careful with it because it can leave ghost markings. Let me show you what we mean. Right in there, you can see the ghost marking, that white. That's why people are scared to death about this particular marker. But I always use it where I say under the panties or something like that, where, you know, people don't see. So I'm going to take this ruler. Boy, I wish I had a bigger one here. And I'm going to cut corner to corner right on that line. Again, I wish I had a larger ruler, but hey, I've got a line I can follow, right? All right, so you end up with this. Okay, this is strange looking, but hang with me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this up this way. All right, this way, up this way. Basically, you're pressing it into a heart. You can see that heart, right? I'm going to do another one. Yay. And then you're going to sew, put this here, sew 1/4 of an inch on each side of this line. Again, glue it, prepare both of them. I mean, this is a magic trick in my book. I just love this. Love this. So the cutting numbers are the same and all that good stuff. It's just you don't cut the diagonals. You don't cut it. You mark it with your pencil. Okay. So let me go back over here to the sewing machine. We've had a heck of a time getting this third camera to work, but that was one reason I wanted to pre-record so that John had some time to fiddle with it. I'm just going to feed this one right in. In this case, I'm just going to cut it. It's really easy to get that end kind of goobered up. And on this side. I think this might be one of my all-time favorite blocks. The simplicity of it is just amazing. That. And then I'm going to do it. This. Maybe if I come around this way. Okay. So here we have that. Here we go. I'm going to cut corner to corner. And whoa, not on my pressing mat. Okay. Here we go. And then I'm going to go and press. And there is my beautiful little flying geese. I mean, it seems terminal while I'm sitting here sewing, but it takes so much less time, and you don't have to worry about biases getting stretched. So that's my contention for the whole thing. Okay, so let's lay this block out now. Here's our little flying geese. I would trim these guys off, for sure. For sure. All right, so there's that. Beautiful. Here's the center. And the reason I would trim these off is I think these press this way. Uh-oh, that's not good. I got a little cut there. And then these go here. My little corner squares. I believe these are cut at 2. I mean, that's how much I love this little star. I've got it all memorized. So then what you do is you just sew it row, row, row. Let me give you a couple of tips. If, for instance, this does not line perfectly up with the triangle, line up the outside edge and let the chips fall in the interior. Okay? I let the outside edge be good and the inside edge be the one that's a little poopy. So I'm going to go there. I don't feel like I need to glue this one. Then we have this one that we have to do the center with this. Let's see if it fits. I'm going to have to pull it off camera. Yay, it fits. If it didn't, I would fold the yellow, find the center, and then line up this X. Right down here, that X. And then what you do is you just sew. I keep talking about this, but now you can see it was a hair to the raw edge. And then let me just do this other side on this one. Okay. Does this one fit exactly? Nope, this one doesn't fit exactly. It's a little bit bigger, the white. So I'm just going to line up the outside edge. And I do this on many blocks. You know, you start in with good intention and then, well, you know what happens. Then I'm going to sew on this other side of the yellow. So line up pretty darn good. Oh, get over there. I'm watching that little line down there. All right. Now we're going to do a little what if. And it may even be the truth, okay? I do want to cut these things off, and I don't have my good little scissors here for that. So I am going to press to the outside here, and the reason is I want to be able to see the tips when I go to sew it to the next piece. Okay. And this one I'm going to go towards the yellow. All right. And I for sure will cut off this here because you can see through there, all right? Now, let's just sew something on for fun. Worry about that guy later. So if I go, my gosh, it worked out perfectly. Well, no, this one's a little bit short. Well, I can live with that. Let me see if I pressed well. No, I didn't. I'm telling you, if Pressing can make or break, guys. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to line up these two seams, and the seams are dropped in opposite directions. So I'm going to peek and make sure that it's going across, of which it is. And I'm going to drop a pin in before, a pin after, take a look-see, looks fabulous. Drop a pin in before, a pin after, 1/16 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. You guys should kind of know my mantra, right? So let's go back over to the machine. All right, here we go. And again, I'm going to want to sew a hair to this side, to the raw edge. Whoa, I kind of did a little bumpity bump there. I went out too far. It'll be fine. Let's take a look-see. Oh, I take the pins out too. Okay, I should have taken them out all along. Yeah, I can live with that just fine, and then I'll do the other side later. So that's how you do the beloved Sawtooth Star, and we're going to expand on this on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. So Wendy, thanks for showing me how to move the square to the upper left. John was in here going, do this, do this, do this, and I couldn't understand it. I'm like, get out of here. And then you just said, just take it, slide it, boom. Thank you. So Carol, Lisa said this is a new way for her to work, like how we're doing it on the wall. Congratulations for taking a jump into the swimming pool with a leap of faith, okay? Carol, the book is the quick and easy block tool. We sell it at TQS, and you can see that I'm, filled with notes and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure that the next project we're going to do is going to be out of this book too. So yes, Rondi, the retreat is canceled. No choice, and we haven't rescheduled yet. I have a retreat here every fall, and it's fabulous. It actually started because of my message board. It was going to be its 20-year anniversary. So rats. Okay, larger block. Is a larger block easier to piece? I thought that was an interesting question, and I think it is. But the thing with the smaller block is that it really checks and balances your precision. It just really does. And in my star class, we always started with a 6-inch Sawtooth Star, because if the chips were going to fall apart, it was going to be right on this particular star. Donna, you're lost, and now you're found. Isn't it a great technique? So let's see. Oh, Barbara, I love that you call it bra and panties. I haven't heard that one before. And the rotary cutter is Quilter Select. It's a heavy weighted cutter, and you can go to quilterselect.com and learn about that rotary cutter. Color of thread, great question. When I am piecing and pressing seams from one side to another, I just don't worry about it that much, okay? I typically, my go-to, well, let's see what we have in here. I've got this on my top, and that's in my bobbin, 60 weight on top, 80 weight in the bobbin, a light gray, just something really neutral, okay? Like I wouldn't do black or something like that. When you press seams open, that's when you really have to pay attention to what the thread color is, because you will literally see the little threads. So that's that. And Wendy, again, thank you. It would have been nice. Yeah. But anyways, okay, so here we go. On Wednesday, we're going to shake up this little block, and I know to move the little icon to the upper left. And I just want you guys to have a great day. I'm going to start working on mine. I'm going to show you more blocks, but I'm going to start fiddling like you guys are. I do it on my design wall. Oh, somebody else said they don't have a design wall and they're working on their ironing board. at a minimum, you can go get like a picnic table, the oilcloth kind that has the fuzz on the back, and hang that up on a wall and put things on that, because you're really going to need to be able to see this to get the desired results I think you guys want. So again, thank you for joining me in this journey. This has been just a lifesaver for me, as I know for a lot of you too. Let's just get back to normal as much as we can, right? So in the meantime, have a good one, and I'll see you Wednesday.